Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and in this video we're going to go over WorkHorse stock because you guys already know this is one of those short squeeze plays that I have on my radar, and I'm going to continue to update you guys on the price action here. So before we look into the charts here, I just want to go back to highshortinterest.com just to see if WorkHorse is still looking good, and you can see right here still the second highest shorted stock right now with a short interest of 35%. If you're interested to look in other plays that are highly shorted, feel free to go through these stocks. This video is not for these. FUV looks interesting because of the size of its float, but I'm going to stick with WorkHorse right now because this is one that I've been in for a while now. So we're looking at the price action right here on the daily time frame, and there's a lot of stuff you can cover here fundamentally on WorkHorse. You have a new CEO, upcoming earnings, what this company's plan is to produce, everything that they said they were going to produce, what's going to happen when they can't produce the amount that they were saying they were going to produce. So there's a lot of stuff to worry about on the fundamental side, which is why I don't really want to concern myself with, because my investment in WorkHorse has nothing to do with fundamentals. I'm willing to lose 100% of my investment with this stock for the reason I am investing in it. I'm investing in it more so for the short squeeze. You guys already know there is a large percentage of people who are shorting the stock. A lot of people know that a lot of people are shorting the stock, and so simply just buying and holding this stock, regardless if you hold one share, if you hold 100, if you hold 1,000 shares, buying and holding is going to set up this stock very nicely. Options are eventually going to expire for some of these short plays, and a lot of these hedge funds are going to cover if they can't get the price lower. And so when I'm looking at the price action, this reminds me of AMC before it ran up. It looks like we are starting to consolidate in this range. And so if we zoom in a little bit, this line right here that I'm tracking with my mouse is our 10-day SMA. And so this is more of a short-term indication of how the price action is doing. And so recently we've been getting rejected by our 10-day, very much so. Last couple of days we did get rejected. So the technical outlook right now in the very short term is not the greatest. We are holding a pretty nice level of support, and so if we break down from this level of support, our uptrend would be out of commission. So we want to hold this level of support, and we have been recently. So when it comes to WorkHorse, again, I don't see this thing going lower than $7.80, and I have a upwards price target of around $31. I'm not going to tell you guys that this stock's going to explode tomorrow. It's going to explode next week or next month, because I can't tell you that. It all depends on if you're buying and holding the stock, if you're true to buy and holding the stock, so you're not actually selling. And then it also depends on hedge funds if they feel the need to cover their position at these prices because they fear that retail investors are going to flood into the stock. And so I still have very high conviction with WorkHorse. A lot of publicity on the stock, a lot of eyes, a lot of people who aren't willing to sell their shares, but I can't believe what I read online. I gotta look at my indicators, and my indicators have shown distribution in the last couple trading sessions. So it's not something I like to see as a WorkHorse investor, but some people may be fearful of the fundamental outlook, and that is the reason why they're selling. However, if you understand the other side of the story and understand the short interest, then the fundamentals really don't matter as much. And so any sort of good news on the fundamental side will actually help bring investors in and should bode well for the stock. And so I'm not saying that every short interest stock has the potential to squeeze. I just like the setup here on WorkHorse. I see a gap to fill to the upside. I see a ton of popularity in retail investors with this stock. And I also am seeing a wild market condition right now in 2021. And so another thing I like to see here on our chart is if I kind of track out our RSI, when we were oversold right here, you could see we were bottoming, and then here we had a 32 RSI, but we were touching lows of around $8. Now we're at the exact same RSI over here, but our price action is $2 above that point, which means that we are setting higher lows with our RSI, and so that is actually a very great look. But because right now we are below our 10-day SMA right now, the first thing we need to do is get above this one. That is the first battle that the stock needs to conquer, and so I'm going to remove those SMAs, and I'm just going to bring up our 50, our 100, and our 200. Our green 50, you could see, has had a very bullish crossover here with our 100. So with this stock now, I do expect this one to stay closer to its 50. So I'm going to bring you guys back a little bit. So there are points of consolidation where this stock hugs its 50 SMA very tightly, and then it will have a surge away from its 50 SMA. And so we saw the surge to the upside, but then now we actually got the surge here to the downside. And so this to me is just matching this uptrend that we had right here. So now that we are kind of canceling each other out, we are getting into consolidation zones. We are starting to set higher lows. If we can hold this level of support, it's going to look good for WorkHorse. At the end of the day, I have no timeline with the stock. I've already mentioned I am willing to lose 100% of my investment with this specific strategy. I'm not going into this on a fundamental outlook, and so my reasoning is very clear on why I'm holding this stock. And so if you are not comfortable with losing 100% of your investment, then maybe you should not be putting so much money into WorkHorse. Again, these aren't fundamental plays. These rules don't apply. Normal investing rules do not apply with stocks like WorkHorse. And so you got to understand that, and you got to be comfortable with knowing that there are going to be price fluctuations. There are going to be durations of time where the price stays very low. There's going to be times where the price starts to run. So there's going to be tons of emotions when you look at stocks like WorkHorse, but understanding what's going on with the stock should give you some peace of mind. Hopefully my videos give you some peace of mind, because I'm continuing to hold this stock, and I will continue to hold because we are nowhere near the price predictions that I have for this stock. And so again, this is not about a time frame thing. This is all about the numbers. And there you guys have it. That was my quick little update here on WorkHorse. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs, so if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.